Hello, Gloria Dares, and welcome back to the Fully Engaged Reading Through the New Testament Bible Study. This week we are reading Colossians, which is another of the New Testament letters. It's 4 chapters, so not long. It will not be a hard read. But as you do so, a couple of themes that you will notice. One, the letter reminds its recipients of what God has already done for them in Jesus Christ. It reminds them that they have already heard the gospel and that faith has already been given to them. You can hear this in verse 5 in chapter 1. You have heard of this hope before in the word of truth. And chapter 1, again, verse 13. He has rescued us from the power of darkness and transferred us into the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption, the forgiveness of sins. And in verse 20, and through him, that is Jesus, God was pleased to reconcile to himself all things, whether on earth or in heaven, by making peace through the blood of the cross. And it continues, and you who were once estranged and hostile in mind, doing evil deeds, he has now reconciled in his fleshly body through death, so as to present you holy and blameless and irreproachable. Over and over again in Colossians, you're going to hear these kinds of verses where the promise of God is proclaimed, where the writer, the author, Paul says to the Colossians people, here's what God has already done for you. You do not wait for this gift. It has already been given. God has already given you a promise. So something to watch for in this book is those promises spoken over and over again. Second thing to watch for is therefore. Pay attention to this word, therefore. You are forgiven in Christ. Therefore, you will find in Colossians more than a few times, you have new life. You are forgiven in Christ. Therefore, you are not beholden to the rules of this world that tell you you have to eat only this food or subscribe only to this political view or whatever it is. Forgiven in Christ, you are therefore free. The therefores of this letter go on to say, here's what new life means for you. Here's what new life looks like. You have been given this gift, therefore. You are no longer slaves to sin. Therefore, you can stop seeking life in those other things. Therefore, you can stop doing those things that do not bring you life. Not as if you can stop sinning, but when forgiveness takes away sin's power, well, sin is, taken away. That power is, and sometimes so is the allure of it. So therefore, pay attention to the therefores. Pastor Tim and I were talking about this word therefore, and he mentioned that when he's in Bible study and he comes across a therefore, he often says, pay attention to what the therefore is there for. He also told me I could steal that line, so there, I did. What is the therefore there for? You will have ample opportunity to pay attention to this in Colossians. Finally, something to pay attention to in this book as you read is there's this big theological concept in this tiny little book about death. You have died, we hear in Colossians, and your life is hid in Christ. It's chapter 3, verse 3. You have died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. You have died, not you will die or you are dying even, but you have died, as if something that has already been done. And this is actually what we proclaim happens in your baptism. You have died to sin and your life is revealed to be in Christ. On the one hand, it sounds terrible, right? Death, like what do you mean I'm dead when I'm spending all my time working so very hard for my life? But the truth of it is that this word is the very freedom for what you have been looking. You have died and Christ has given you new life. You are free to not have to prove your life or achieve it or make it into something, but you are free to just live it, trusting that your life is already something. For it is a gift given to you by God through your Maker and your Redeemer. It's a gift given to you in Jesus Christ. It's a big theological truth to digest. And if it befuddles you, well, just move on and go back to those promises that we talked about as the very first thing that you're going to hear over and over in Colossians. You have been saved in Christ. It's not an opportunity for you. It's not something that will someday happen. It's already happened. You have been saved in Christ. Therefore, you are free. Which is, I think, enough said. So, enjoy your reading of Colossians, and we'll see you soon.